digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Hang on. Hi guys and welcome to THFC Till I Die, Till We Die, home of Tottenham past, present and an exciting future under somebody. This is, I don't normally stream during the day. I'm always stream at night, but I did promise you if I did get any news, I would come back to you with it straight away. And we do have news, and it's probably not the news that everyone is wanting to hear at this present time. So, you know, if it's not news you want to hear, I'm sorry, but look, we're going to have to wait. And that's what it is waiting. One I know, I have actually written down, if you see me looking across from the other monitor, it's what I've written down because I've actually had to write this out. I don't normally do it. I do everything off the cuff, but I wanted to get this so spot on. I've never written down the sort of a script before. So I've now written down what it was given to me and I've jumbled it all together. So anyway, what I know right now is more that Angie's waiting on Daniel, and there's more people waiting on the decision, the likes of Paratici and people like that. Paratici is going to have a say in this, so Paratici is going to have a say in the new manager. We all just need to be patient, and that's the thing. Decision will be made when the time is right. Look, we can't force the club to make the decision one way or the other. So the decision will be made when it's right for Daniel Levy and the club. Look, I don't go along with this. It's unfair. This waiting is unfair. It's not. It's down to the club to make the decision. And look, if you want my personal view, yeah, the league season has been a shit show. It has been absolutely a shit show, and 22 league defeats is unacceptable. But the guy has gone and won us a European trophy. Does that give you credit? Probably does, yes. Does that give you credit in the bank to give you time for next season to put it right? Yes, it does. I don't go along with this bullshit of, and it is bullshit when you say, oh, we'll give him 10 seasons or 10 games or up to Christmas. If you're going to back the manager, you're backing for the season. If you feel during that season it isn't going right, and something is going wrong, then you replace that manager. But just to say we're giving you the first 10 games, I think you back them for the season and you see where the season takes you. If you hadn't won the Europa League, say we went out to Frankfurt, I have no obligations. Ange Postecoglou would not be here because our league form was dreadful. But he has won it, and I think he deserves credit for that. I think he deserves a recognition to become the only third manager in our history to win a European trophy, behind Bill Nick, behind Bill Nick, Keith Birkinshaw, and Ange Postecoglou. There's only 3 people in that little group, and he's joined that group. I know Levy will want to make the right decision for the club. As I said, the silverware, fantastic. League form, shockingly shit. And we can all put our hands up to that. But for some reason, look, if you really want my honest opinion on it, my honest opinion, I think Ange will be here next season. Now, if it goes, it wouldn't shock me. If it stays, it wouldn't shock me. But at the moment, we have to wait. And that's why I put decision time with a question mark, because it is decision. Look, if you're an owner of a club, right, and you have to put everything into a melting pot. You got to put the league form, the European form, Champions League qualification, everything else into a melting pot. I mean, who would want to be an owner? This is such a difficult decision to make, because if this decision will determine where Tottenham Hotspur go for the next couple of seasons. If it sacks Ange and brings somebody in, then it's a whole new rebuild again. New players. He probably wants some of the players that we've got in the squad at the moment, so he's going to want his own players. So you start all over again. Do you back a manager? Then if Ange stays, then you add to that. You add with experience within the squad. You add to that, and you try to build on what you've done in Europe. You try to improve the league situation. You try to build in the summer. But the problem is, it's such a debate within the fan base that, you can't have an opinion. And I respect everyone's opinion. I do respect everyone's opinions. Though a lot of people don't think I do. I do. I respect people for Ange out or Ange in or Ange Levy out or Levy in. I respect everyone. I respect anyone that has a different opinion to my own, because that's what football's all about. That's what it's about. But you have to look at things, I think, what's best for the football club. And what's best for the football club is momentum. Now, momentum in the league was horrible. And I don't think anyone expected us to win yesterday. I think you could bin off yesterday, because the celebration the players did, and Ange let them celebrate. I think yesterday's game was always going to be really difficult anyway. But you got to look the season in the whole. 22 league defeats is not good enough. 17th place is not good enough. I don't think. I think there's so much division within this fan base this season. Either Ange in, if you're not Ange in, you're in this sort of area. If you're Ange out, you're in this area. We're all Tottenham Hotspur fans at the end of the day. We should have all of opinion to express our opinion freely, respectively, and be respected for that opinion. And I think we have to. And I think on this channel, we've tried to do that. I don't know, because I try so hard to be balanced and try not to go down a certain road, not to go down a certain area of this fan base. And look, Ange will leave you make the right decision for Tottenham Hotspur. And that's what it's all about. It's about making the right decision for us as a club, for us to move forward. And I don't give a shit if you're Ange in, Ange out, Levy in, Levy out. I really don't give a fuck. Don't care. I've had enough of this divide. I've had enough of this bullshit. I've had enough of the divide, everything to do with it. All I care about is Tottenham Hotspur. We've won a European trophy, and I'm absolutely ecstatic we've won a trophy. And I'm going to bounce on that all summer. And I will bounce on that straight into the Champions League next year. Whatever Levy decides with Ange Postecoglou, that's down to him to make. And then whoever comes in, I will support that manager. It's all about the club for me. It's all about Tottenham Hotspur. I'm a fan of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Have been since the day I was born in, for Christ's sake, I was born in North Middlesex Hospital, just down the road from Tottenham Hotspur. I could not be born closer than I was to White Hart Lane. I went to the first game when I was a small kid with my dad. My dad, who had no interest in football, took me to every game that I wanted to go to. I went there on my own, followed them home and away, followed them in Europe as well. So I've been everywhere following Tottenham Hotspur. Apart from my family, they're my second love. And this is why I do this channel, because I love the club. I love Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. I am so ecstatic that we've won the Europa League. We've matched the 84 side. And I broke down in tears on Wednesday evening because of the emotion, because of how I felt about the club, how I felt about my team winning a European trophy. And we all should be buzzing with that. And I think we all are buzzing with that. Ange Postecoglou, yeah, I'm an Ange fan. I'm not going to deny that. I'm a massive Celtic fan as well. I saw what he did up in Celtic, and I get all the erratic, it's only the Scottish League. But you still got to beat what's in front of you up there. I mean, Aberdeen beat Celtic on the weekend on penalties for the Scottish Cup. Am I pissed off? Yeah, I'm pissed off because my second team that I support didn't win anything, didn't win the Scottish Cup. Of course I'm pissed off. But Aberdeen deserve it. Aberdeen deserve it. I've over the moon for Alfie Dorrington to get a medal. He gets a winner's medal. Was I pissed off yesterday that Josh Keeley didn't get promoted with Leyton Orient? Yeah, I am, because he's a Tottenham Hotspur player. I'm pissed off because he didn't get his promotion medal. But I like Ange. I like Ange, and I like how he is, and I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm not going to apologize how I support my football club. I like Tequila shouldn't apologize how he supports the football club, how easy he thinks. He's right with his opinions. I'm right. I'm right with mine. But deep down, very deep in my core, and I know this channel's the same, and this channel has always been built on this. This channel has been built on being fair. This channel has been built on being honest, being fair, being respectful, and being respected to other fans and other people's opinions. We've never done anything less. We get fans from Everton, Newcastle, Liverpool coming here, Everton coming here, West Ham. I'm a good friend with a West Ham fan, Tony, over in his channel. And I love Tony. I think he's a great. I've talked to Tony. Noticed I will be getting Tony on here during the summer for a bit of West Ham Tottenham banter. But I think he's right that everyone should have an opinion. And they're all coming up in the chat. They're all coming in the chat. Tequila's saying what he thinks, and he's every right to say what he says. Doesn't mean me and Tequila are going to fall out because I have a different opinion than him. I would give Tequila credit because we had one game during the season. And this shows the manner of the man. This shows what a man he is, and what a gentleman he is, and what a decent, kind human being he is. I will get to your point in a minute, Tequila. I've got a point to that. I will get it to you. I'm praising you here, by the way, so let me continue on praising you, right? And we did a final score, and I was pissed. I was down in the dumps. I was angry. I was everything. And this is sort of the person Tequila is, by the way. This is sort of a decent human being he is. He came on, and he supported me. He could have quite easily come on and said, told you so, blah, blah, blah. But he didn't. He came on and he supported me as a friend, as a mate. He came on and supported me. He didn't come on, I told you so. He came on and he was consoling me, make sure I was all right. He knew how much I was hurting, and he can see I was hurting. And he came on to say, "Are you okay, Dermo? Right, I'm going to come on with you, but I'm going to support you." And he did that. He didn't have to do that, but he did that. That shows that he's a decent human being, and I respect the hell out of him. He's a really close friend of mine. He's a brother, and I respect him for it. We may not always agree on Tottenham. We may not agree on everything, but deep down, he knows I've got his back, and I know he's got mine. And I know everyone in this channel is got everyone else's back, because that's the community we've built on this channel. That's the community we've built here. We've built a community that you can have your say. You can come in and be respected without the fear of being banned, or unless you're disrespectful, or unless you're abusive to other people. That's the only reason you will get banned or timed out. And I love this channel, and this is why I promised you guys I will come with the latest news. So I am going to go to the chat, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the bottom up. Tequila, if you don't mind, I'm not going to bring up every message you've just put in. I will bring up some of it, but I won't bring up every message. Just, I know how you feel. I think everybody else goes, right, I won't visit. Big up Derek. He says, Big U, what if we lose 22 games next season? Look, he may not be here next season. I said for Derek, if you want to start that, a decision, the decision will be made at the right time. There was a meeting this morning. Ange was given the chance with the data, and he was having meeting with Levy this morning. He was given the chance to give his side of his view with all the data that he's evolved for the season, that how he can improve next season in the league. And it's down to Daniel Levy. It's down to him to make the decision. Do I stick or do I twist? Look, if he goes, thank you, Ange, for the European trophy. I'll support the next manager. If he stays, then he has to start next season on a winning streak. I agree with that. Yeah, he does, apparently. There you go. I forgot there was a bank holiday in England, actually, to be fair, because I only realised that when I saw Bobby stream up with the League One final. So, yeah. Don't worry, how can you be friends with a West Ham fan? Doesn't the smell bother you? No, he's a decent West Ham fan, actually, to be fair. He's the only one. And as I always say, when he comes in our chat, he's the only West Ham fan I truly like and respect. The rest of them do stink, to be fair, of everything under the sun. Sack Ange the Muppet, says Derek Hutchison. That is true. Big up to Henry. Is what do love hearts. We are not Ange FC. I agree with that. We're Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. We're not Ange Football Club. I agree with that. I do agree with that. I mean, the club has to be bigger than any person or any man. I do agree with that. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Tequila, on that point. I haven't forgiven anyone. I just don't talk to many people in YouTube apart from Dave and Jack. And a few other people, but I don't really talk to a lot of people. I try to like to keep myself to myself and my channel sort of out of all the other shenanigans that goes on. So our channel, so I try to do that. But I get your point. I haven't forgiven anyone, or I haven't. I just rather keep doing what I do, which is talking about Tottenham, and that's it. All the rest of it, everyone else can get on with that shenanigans. I'm quite happy just doing what I'm doing, which is talking about Tottenham and the results and the summer content we've got coming out with transfers and everything like that. So yeah, that's all I rather concentrate on. They can concentrate on everything they can. I haven't been Ange out at any point. He isn't the problem. Before we won the cup, my position was if he loses, sack him. If he wins, he choice. Let's hope we get a proper medical. And that's another point. Paritici's coming back in the first week of July. So the whole thing's going to be scrapped up from top to bottom. It's going to be scrapped. It's going to be changed top to bottom. He's coming in, revamp the whole lot. And I agree, the medical department needs changing so badly. They really are. They really are so badly. Takir says Levy only cares about Champions League. We're in it, so keep him. Shame. I mean, you got to. Every chairman cares about Champions League. Every chairman cares about Champions League because it brings in the money. There's not one chairman in the Premier League that if you get champion, I'm sure Newcastle owners are over the moon. They've got Champions League this morning. I'm sure the Nottingham Forest owners are absolutely not happy. All right, they've got Europe, they've got the Conference League, but they haven't got Champions League. I'm sure they are happy they're in Europe, but they would rather have Champions League than Conference League. So every chairman, I think, up and down the league wants Champions League football. And we got it by winning the cup competition. We got it by winning the Europa League. So I think we have to be happy. We won a trophy, like 17 years without winning a trophy. We won a trophy. And that's the main thing. That's what we should focus on. Don't think it's difficult for Levy. If Daniel Boy says he gets us back in the Champions League, and Ange did that. That was his remit, wasn't it? Champions League and win a trophy. He's done both in one swoop. So if you're looking at it from one side, then he's done what he's met what the chairman has set out for him. But again, 22 league defeats in the league, does that qualify you for something? No, it doesn't, because the league is your bread and butter. The league is where you earn your money. The league, if you don't win the league, if you don't finish first, everything else from 2nd to 20th is about making as much money as you can in positions in the league. And the top 8 means about getting into Europe. But it is all about money. The Premier League is about money. Let's not kid ourselves. The Premier League is about money. The cup competitions is about glory, about winning the cup competition, winning an FA Cup, winning a League Cup, winning the Europa League, winning the Champions League, winning the Conference League. It's about trophies. It's about glory. It's about lifting that trophy, lifting that, having the open, what we saw last week. And I know all of us were buzzing. I was buzzing. I covered it live, and I was absolutely buzzing. Like, I haven't seen that celebration since '91. So let's not kid ourselves. The Premier League's about money. The Premier League's about finishing high as you can in the league. If you're not going to win the league, then your next objective is to finish in Champions League or finish in the top 8 to qualify for Europe. But the higher you finish, the more money you get at the end of the season. And we didn't finish. I don't know. I will find it out for this week's show when we do our season review, how much we get for finishing where we did. But it isn't good enough. And that has got to be really taken into consideration while we're waiting for this decision. But as I wrote down on my notes here, silverware equals fantastic. League form equals shockingly shit. So yeah, it goes either way. Big up to Jamie. Big up Jamie McFadden. Big up. Is he sacked? Not yet. We're still waiting on the decision, Jamie. But as soon as I get like a confirmation, one way or the other, I will bring to you first and fastest. Like I promised last night, I got this news this morning. That's why I'm on. I don't normally come on in the lunchtime or afternoon. Don't normally do. So do you know what I mean? I promised, and I keep my promises. Big up Stephen Thomas, got to go. 22 league defeats is far too much. It is far too much. And if you put the Europa League to one side and look at the league form, then I will agree with you. He's got to go because of that. But as Tequila rightly says, the Daniel Levy will be looking at Champions League. But what does the data read to you? What does that tell you? Do injuries have to be taken into consideration? Yes, they do. But these players, for I don't know how many games we've played in the Europa League, put it together, and we've got to remember Frankfurt, Bodo away, and the final, we kept clean sheets. We didn't concede a goal. So does Ange need to adapt? Yes, he does. Does Ange need to adapt how he plays in Europe into the Premier League? Yes, he does. Does he need better players? Yes. Experienced players? Yes, he does. Do we need a better transfer window? Hell yeah. And people seem to forget that. The one argument I will put in defense of Ange Postecoglou is his summer window and his transfer window was very poor. He did not get backed as a manager. He did not get backed properly in the transfer window. So when we did have these injuries, we didn't have a squad capable enough or experienced enough to deal with these injuries. And we had to play players that were injured again and again and again and again because we didn't back them in either summer or January. So let's be honest, our windows, this is why Paratici coming back on the 1st of July is such an improvement for us, because it gives us a chance to really do a proper transfer window. And you look at the window that when he bought in Romero, Vicario, Porro, Udogie, James Maddison, Brennan Johnson, who I'm telling you one thing, Brennan Johnson for me, and I'm waiting for apologies from people, by the way, I'm putting this out here, that actually criticized me, called and saying to me, Dermo, you don't be talking about Brennan Johnson's shit. Brennan Johnson scored the winning goal in the European final. So apologies will be taken. He proved himself again and again that Brennan Johnson is a good player. Big up to David Clark. Big up, David, my old nemesis, my old chum. What do you reckon that Gary Lineker leave a match of the day? David, I'd love to know your thoughts on that and people's thoughts on that. An end of an era? Did he deserve to go? I think it was a bit harsh, personally. I think if he's apologized, I think if he's apologized, then I think he was always going to leave match of the day anyway. But I think to go as far less, think people have done far worse at the BBC and nothing was ever said. So that's just my opinion. With this ownership, we're only capable of fighting for cup competitions, trophies, although I don't rate Ange as top coach, but under the criteria he's working on, the one trophy, 170 is a success. It is. Yeah. I think you're spot on, David. I think you fit the nail on the head. It is. Cup competitions are about money for ownership. 85 million for winning the Europa Conference, plus 3 entry in Champions League, plus money. It's not money. It's money not expected. Yeah, exactly. Big up to Ben Edwards. Big up, Benny boy. I love your logo. I love your photo, Ben. I do love your photo. 11.3 million. 17. Cheers for that. Levy fires people when they don't get Champions League, not when they do, even if they don't like it. From Levy's standpoint, he did his job. He did do his job. And that, I think, Tequila, again, this is the point I'm making. You're capable of seeing it from both sides. You may not like the manager, but you're capable of seeing it from both sides. And I respect that. I do respect that from you. Big up, Neil. Don will make them offers they can't refuse, otherwise they end up sleeping with the fishes. Exactly, Neil. I can't wait for the Don to come back. Big up to Paul Pablo. Hi, Dermo. Ange got lucky in Europa. Got lucky in Europe, and Celtic could not win a game in the Champions League. I know that does slightly worry me, if I'm being honest. But do we need a manager that has that can do well in Champions League? Who knows? Who knows? But we will get there. Big up Tequila. Hopefully the Don can buy us some better players from Italy. Obviously, yeah, exactly. And then Neil Shafton, poor Alfie, even scored. I know. I felt so sorry for him. I did. But look, he won his medal. So fair play to him. I'm absolutely. Matthew, so happy that Gary Lineker, who trashed his former club, got kicked out of scope was BBC. Thanks to winning goal in the Europa League final. I know it was Brennan Johnson. Let me have that, David. Don't take that away from me. Don't take it away from me. Don't take me away from me. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. Brennan Johnson scored that goal. I don't care. Luke Shaw's not getting it. It's Brennan Johnson's goal. So he should stay since he's the. Oh yeah. Oh, that's about Gary Lineker. Oh yeah, he was good at football presenting. I couldn't give two muffins what he thinks about Anything else other than football? Yeah. Big up, boys. Big up, Matthew, as well. Wayne says, what have I missed? I've come late. What have I missed? What have I missed? And why? Why are you late? That's what I'm wondering why. Why are you late? You're always first in the chat, Wayne. Why are you late? Why are you late, Wayne? Come on. It's because I'm not normally on at 1:30 in the afternoon. That's why Wayne was shocked. He saw me. Jesus Christ, what's Doma doing on? Something major breaking must be going on. Right, I'm going to start the show as I've finished it. Woo. Right. So what I know right now is that Angie's waiting on Daniel as there is more people waiting on the decision. Paratici has his say too. Just need to be patient at the moment. Decisions will be made when it's the right time. I don't go along. This is now my personal opinion. I don't go along with the waiting is unfair, which I hear in the media are saying it's not. It is what it is. We have to just wait. No, I did not admit I wanted Stephen Kenny. You know how I feel about Stephen Kenny. I'll see you later, Tequila. Daniel wants to make the right decision for the club. Silverware equals fantastic. League form equals shockingly shit. With some reasons for it. But with some reasons for it. But not all is Ange blameless in it. Is not. I don't think he is all blameless in it. I think you can't count for injuries. You can't count for not backing him in the transfer window. You can't blame him for the club not buying him the right players. So look, there is 22 league defeats. Yeah, he can be blamed for that. Ange winning Europa League, he done that. He gets credit for that. But buying players, injuries and that, he can't take the blame for that. He can't take the blame for Scott Munn and Lang for not doing the job properly. And this is why Paratici and Gamadini are coming back, because they're better at the jobs than Scott Munn and Lang. They should be fucking sacked now. Big up to no, I did not say that. You know how much I hate Stephen Kenny. Why would you ever put me and Stephen Kenny in the same breath, Tequila? Seriously. Stephen Kenny's an idiot. Couldn't manage Ireland. He can't even manage where he is at the moment. And you expect me to want him as a new manager? Ooh, I'll get you back for that. Levy's not going to stand for Andrew's BS and would dismiss him sooner the better. Derek, you may get your wish, man. You may get your wish. And look, if it breaks at some point between now and tomorrow, I will bring it to you live. You know I will. Dermo's first June transfer window opens for a few years because, yeah, it does. The best get a new manager in now. Do you know what? I probably would agree if we are looking to change. Yes, get it done now before the 1st of June. I will agree with you on that. I think that makes Paul. I think that's perfectly sense. But as Neil says, I was about to say it, Neil, and you took the words out of my mouth, and I actually think it's a brilliant way. It's like waiting for the smoke. It is. It's like we're all sitting there waiting for some smoke come out of Tottenham Hotspur. Either it's black smoke. At the moment, we've got loads of black smoke coming out because they can't make a decision. We're just waiting for the white smoke to come out of Tottenham Hotspur to see what decision they've made. Keeler doesn't surprise me. Derm's got a serious... I do not have a serious soft spot for Stephen Kenny. Will you two stop it? You know how much I hate Stephen Kenny. Seriously. Keeler, stop winding Wayne up. You know I don't like Stephen Kenny. He's an idiot. He can't manage. It took me 50 minutes to work out who couldn't manage Ireland, and you expect me to want him at the A. He's a complete dildo. Big up, Wilton. Over doing good morning, Dermot. Good morning or good evening to you, Wilton, wherever it is in Miami. God, I wish I was in Miami. I reckon, Wilton, you're a bit like Don Johnson, right? I reckon you rock the Don Johnson look. I reckon you do. Leicester City's coach and sporting director was sacked within the next 48 hours. David, big up. Look, I will break that on our Premier League channel. I'll break down if that breaks within next. I will go on the Full-Time Sports Network and break any Premier League news, and that's what's going to happen, guys, as well. On the Full-Time Sports Network, I'm starting a new show called the Premier League Roundup, where I will talk everything else bar Tottenham. Everything Premier League goes on there. And that's what I'll be doing. So any news that breaks in the Premier League, I'll be going live straight there on the Full Time Sports Network. So join me over there. Big up to Ben Edwards. Kids bought into the future, ended up playing far. Kids bought for the future, ended up playing far more than ever intended season. We needed more experienced players to balance the team. I tell you who is actually available this summer, and I've heard rumors. They're only rumors. Luka Modric is looking for a club. I would take him back for a year. I don't know if you guys would, but I would. Tequila said they need to decide one or the other. I think 2 weeks. That's what I keep hearing as well, Tequila. I think you know the same source I do. So you're sort of within the Tequila's within the same group chats that I'm in, so he knows sort of things. So I still expect it within 2 weeks, between now and 2 weeks. Yeah, hopefully before going on holiday. Boris says, "Damn, Dermo wanting Kenny as manager and Southgate is oh, you would you fuck off seriously? To you two stop putting. I don't swear, right? I don't swear much. Well, I do, but you lot putting Stephen Kenny in. Such a lot of you. It's not soft right now. Boiling. Yeah, that's so true. Big up, Derek. Yeah, look, I agree with you, Derek. I do agree. Look, I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree with you. League form, he needs to go. But you also got to give him credit for winning us the Europa League. He's done what the chairman set out for him. Win me a trophy, qualify me for the Champions League. He's done both in one fell swoop. But if you look at the league form, he doesn't deserve to stay. If you look at what he's won, then it's not a Ten Hag moment, because two of them are totally different. Ten Hag, the players wanted them out, everyone wanted them out. Different, the players are still behind Ange, and that's what makes it really difficult. The players still back the manager, and I wonder if we've got Romero that could be going this summer. Does Romero stay if Ange goes? There's loads of complications around at the moment, but we have to wait and see. What else we got? Oh god, I'm so far. Nah, he's Tony Man. Oh, okay, that's a good shout. Very good shout. Wilton, I'm just annoyed with people who suddenly devalue the Europa League. I don't. You know I don't, Wilton. Cut because Tottenham are winners. Why are there so many Tottenham haters out there? Look, I'm over the moon we've won a trophy. You know me as well as I do. You should know me well enough by now, Wilton, that I love this. I'm buzzing. And he's joining Ange has joined an exclusive club of winning European trophy. Only 3 men have done that. Himself, Birkinshaw, and Bill Nick. And yeah, I know. I get it. But, I do get it. Got a Jiffy tequila for Dermot. I can't bring that up together, but I know what you're getting at. Is what must I've got Jesus Christ. I've just bought a message. I promise I won't bring up. Fuck it out. 2 kilos is what Dermot must have taken. Would you two just stop it? Seriously. Gray out, Donnelly in. That's a shout. Modric has put shares in Swansea. Yeah, I know that, but would you take him at Tottenham for a year? I would. I take Modric in quicker than a heartbeat. Yeah, same would I. Jesus, Mikey Moore mentality is saying he's wanting to win Champions League with Spurs next season. If we win that, then I'm just I like David. Maddis is one of my favorite players ever. I think any team who would want a Maddis, a Modders. Oh, Modric, yeah. Yeah, he is. I thought you said Maddis there. Sorry. Dyslexia is a bitch. I heard the mole has at Spurs. He's just been given a new contract, better food supplies. What's he been given, David? What's he been given? Beans and toast. Big up to Neil Ryan Mason. We don't know who the mole is. I'm not saying it's Ryan Mason. We don't know. I sort of know, but I don't know. Neil Shafton. It could be off to rest bomb, but I don't think he will. He was lucky, Dermot. Look, Ange was lucky. Yeah, he was lucky. But he did win us a trophy, and we all should be overjoyed at that. We've won a trophy. We're winners. We're European champions. We're European winners, and we all got to be delighted with that. I will finish the stream off as I started it with the latest news that I did get. Is what I know right now is more that Angie's waiting on Daniel, as there's more people waiting on the decision. Paratici has a say on this too. Just need to be patient at the moment. Decision will be made when it's the right time. I don't go. This is my own personal view. I don't go along with this waiting is unfair, which I hear in the media are saying, which I think is a load of BS. I think you've got to wait until the club make an announcement. Daniel wants to make the right decision. This is again my own personal opinion. Daniel wants to make the right decision with the club. Silverware equals fantastic league form. Fantastic league form. It can shockingly shit, but with some reason for it. But not all is Ange is blameless in it. So that's what I think. I think a few. I'll just finish a few of these chats and then I will leave it there. What league form? What league was that in? I don't know, Wayne. I don't think we're in the league this year. I think we're only in cups. Yeah, we're in the little baby league. We've done well in that. Boris, I think he threatens their moves, but in reality, he'll never leave Spurs. No, I don't think he will either. Is Ange staying, Dermo? Who knows? Even I don't know. We're like waiting for the Pope, as somebody said. It's like waiting for the white smoke to come out of White Hart Lane. Only Aussie ever. Yeah, that's true. Dermo, you're a sensible man. You know this guy is trustable for next year. Look, if you're going by league form alone, then yes, he needs to go. But he's won us a European trophy. I think that goes some way of giving him some credit in the bank. If you sack a manager that's won you a European trophy, what message does that send out to the next manager you bring in? So it's a very difficult decision. If I had to put my money on it, and I put my €5 on it, I would say Ange will be here next season. But that's just my own opinion. But if you're looking at a league form, then he has to go. His job's untenable. But he won this European trophy. So that has to go some way into. And he's got to prove to Levy, with all the data, with everything, that he can turn it around. He's the man to do the job. So he's got to convince Levy that he's the man to do the job. Now, if he can convince Levy of that, then he will go. If he does convince Levy of that, then he will stay. But this has to be done before the 1st of June. This has to be sorted out one way or the other for the transfer windows open, that we can all get on with the business of building for next season. Big up Tequila. I don't know if I would call Ange lucky, but I do think the draw opened up nicely for him. Frankfurt aside. Yeah, Frankfurt aside, exactly. We need quality players. Konya is an ideal player. There is a few players. I'm waiting for a massive transfer update. And once I get that, I will bring it to you guys. Keeping Ange is a calculated risk. If 10 gains in the form is as bad as he will be sacked, it will be easy to replace him in the summer. I like Ange, and he would like him to stay, but it is a tough call. It is a very tough call, and that's the problem. Top 5 trophies: 1 Arthur Mudd World Cup, 2 Premier Leagues, 3 Champions League, 4 FA Cups, and 5 Europa Cups. Okay. Daniel has already made his decision, Dermot. Well, if you know something I don't, Derek, then let me know. But at the moment, I'm just waiting for the white smoke. The league form this season has shown us how our squad depth. That's the problem. Squad depth. We didn't have any depth within the squad, so I think this is where I think Lang and Munn should be actually get some shit as well. Everything should be landed at Ange door. Ange cannot be blamed for the transfer windows in the summer and in the January. You have to blame the club for that, and the club have to take full responsibility for that. You can't blame Ange for injuries. The medical department have to take responsibility for that. You can blame Ange for the disastrous league form. Yes. You can praise him for winning the Europa League. Yes. But you can't blame him for the medical form, for the injuries. You can't blame him for the transfer windows. So everyone has to take their blame. You can't just blame everything on the manager, though he does come out and says, I take responsibility. He's taken a lot of shit from a lot of people from there not doing their jobs properly. Just my opinion. I think we should do what cricket does, have 2 coaches, one for the Prem, one for the cup competitions. That's interesting. I think he will be here to start the season. I have my doubts he makes it to the N20 fight. If he starts badly in the league, then he's finished. I do you know what? Yeah, maybe. Should he stay or should he go now? Now, should he stay or should he go? Because Spurs fans want to know, should he stay? Oh, I'll get with that, Neil. Very good, very good. And then depends if his training methods increase injury. I don't think it's his training methods. I just think we have a shit medical department and it is shit and it needs it rampant and needs better people in there. But yeah, mistakes have been made this season. Of course they have. Guys, I'm going to leave it there. I rambled on long enough. And maybe I said some things I shouldn't have said in this stream, but I feel that I just feel say what I want to say. And I hope that's okay with everyone. I don't want to get caught in anything. I don't want to get caught in all the bullshit that's going around, but I just had to say what I have to say. And when it comes to Tequila, I just had to say him a bit that he is a decent human being. And he's been very good to me. He's part of my team. And on the ANGE thing, everyone's entitled to their opinion. You can be ANGE out, ANGE in. You're welcome in here. Levy out, Levy in. You're welcome in here. And I will respect you and I will listen to your points and I will have a discussion about it. And that's what it's about, isn't it? Football's about opinions. This is what we love the game. That's why we love the game so much. Football is all about opinions, and anyone that doesn't have an opinion, then do you know what I mean? That's what it's about. And that's what makes the game. That's what makes the game so. That's why we love the game so much. Because you could have a game. You could watch a game of football and we could have me, Tequila, Wayne, Peter M, Johnny's just popped in. Oi, oi, legend. Oi, oi, Johnny, legend yourself, Neil Shafton. We could all watch the same game. And I bet you €1, right, that every one of us will have a different opinion on the game. Not one of us would have the same opinion. And that's what makes football beautiful. And that's why I love the game. That's why I love the club. And this is why I love doing my channel. So, guys, we are back tomorrow. I was supposed to do a show tonight, but we've got a channel meeting tonight. Yeah, we're discussing what we're doing for the summer content and improve stuff for next season. But me and James are back on tomorrow. We might even be on tonight with Ange News. Who knows? I might even come on with James at 8 or half 8, and we may do something. So, you know, just watch out. Me and James may go on. He wasn't on yesterday for the game, so we may come on later at 8 or 9 and talk a bit of football and talk a bit of Tottenham. And channel piss up is not. Yeah, we're having a channel party, the end of season party. Tequila's bringing all the beer. Column's bringing the balloons. Yeah, we're going to have a party tonight. Me and James are going to come on pissed drunk and talk shite. But no, we may come on tonight for an hour or so. Me and James talk Tottenham and get his views on everything that's happened. And Steve will be back next week. But guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. We're nearly at, I checked in the analytics, we're nearly at 400,000 views for this channel. We're at 398,000. We're only 2 away from 2,060 as well. That makes it only 40 away from 2,100. I would love to get there before the start of the season. Let's start it on 2,150. I would love that. But guys, like and subscribe, and come on, you Spurs. In the big Tottenham Hotspur, we trust. Come on.
Eyes on the prize.